Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. Today I'll be doing a watercolor study, painting these beautiful and delicious pastries. I will start with some sketches to lay out the composition before bringing them to life with watercolor. So grab your brushes and let's get started. I'm currently on a diet, and since I'm craving something sweet, I thought, why not paint some pastries instead? I'm sketching these from my imagination, starting with a pudding, followed by a strawberry cake, or fraisier as it's called in French. Sketching a classic opera cake now, one of my favorites by the way. I actually made one back in 2020 and it turned out amazing, but since I'm on a diet, painting it will have to do for now. Now I don't really know how they call this in English, but in French they're called sablés. They are delicious, buttery, and really easy to make. At first I planned to paint on a single page, but then I wanted to add more, so I decided to include a lemon cake. And I'm adding some details to refine it more. This is going to be a classic chocolate cake, one of my all-time favorites. Now this is simply a classic donut, and I was starting to run out of ideas here. Then I added this wrapped candy to balance out the composition and fill the empty space on the page. And at last I ran out of ideas. Just kidding, I added a raspberry cake. And now that I've finished with sketching, I'll proceed to painting. You'll need a brush of this size, some water, and watercolor of course. So I began by mixing yellow with white and used this to fill in the pudding. Afterward, I added some brown to the top. Finally, I dipped the brush in water and used it to add more details. I felt like the pudding was too yellow, so I toned it down by adding a touch of brown mixed with water. While the pudding painting dries, I've begun coloring the cheesecake, starting with a red layer on top. As you can see here, I'm adding details to the layers. I've added some white on the red part, and some yellow. And now I've added some pink to make it less red, of course. I'm trying to color the strawberry here. Now I'm coloring the opera cake with a rich brown color. I started with the top layer and now I am applying the same color to the layers underneath. Now I'm coloring the caramel candy. So now I've moved to coloring the next one while letting the opera cake dry. I've started with the red part and now I'm adding color to the top part. And now I'm adding more details to it with the brown color. I've dipped the brush into water to make it less opaque. Now I'm coloring the wrapped candy. This one is very easy. So I'm adding a purple layer first, then I'm going to let it dry next. Now this is definitely making me feel more hungry. Now I'm back to adding more details to the pudding as it dried a little bit. I've added more purple and I'm adding more white to the lower part to make the yellow color less yellow. Now I'm adding details to the wrapped candy, so I added more brown shadow and then added some red at the top. And now I'm adding details to the opera cake, so I'm adding more shadows with the purple. Next I painted the donut, so I added pink at the top first. I'm spreading the color by adding more water to my brush. Now I'm adding some light brown and adding some shadows with a purple color. I'm adding even more color at the top. Another wrapped candy to color, and here I used light blue and some ocean color blue. I don't know how this color is called, but I've added some stripes here. This is the chocolate cake I mentioned earlier, and I've started coloring it with a rich brown shade. Now I'm coloring the lemon cake. I'm mixing blue with purple to capture the rich tones of a raspberry cake. Now I'm adding more details to the chocolate cake. And finally, I'm adding more shadows to the wrapped candy. Here's the final result. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I hope that you love it too. See you next time. Bye bye.